everyone. Today we're looking at The Martian, a close analysis of heroism and underlying themes. So let's get into the background of the book. This book is a story of Mark Watney and his journey on Mars. There's a lot of underlying themes that relate to optimism, the human ingenuity, human spirit, and the heroic journey of Mark is quite eventful. So, survivability and survival in general is a central theme in the book. We follow the story of Mark and his journey on Mars. Throughout the story, he's always on the verge of death or doing something crazy that may harm him or kill him. And this is a very intense narrative in the book, and it keeps us engaged. Almost every single chapter has a very engaging moment where he may almost die, but he successfully lives due to his background, his knowledge, his understanding. And it's quite interesting how he gets out of some of those situations. This book has a large basis in scientific accuracy. For example, when he is growing potatoes on Mars, Andy Weir, the author, gives us a lot of details about what you need to grow plants, especially potatoes, not only on Earth, but how it would look like on Mars. And here is a quick little quote. In this quote, he's just basically saying that he's talking from a botanist perspective that you need a lot to do, well, not really a lot for potatoes, but you need a lot for growing plants on different planets. And he shows the quick comparison between Mars and the Earth. So, character development is not really huge in this story, because Mark doesn't evolve too much as a character. He kind of stays the same funny engineer botanist throughout the entire story. He does have an ultimate ending, though, towards the end of the book, which is just realizing that I can survive, and I have, and I was the only guy left on Mars. There's not really a huge character development of Mark. And the heroic journey. Mark kind of has the traditional call to adventure, in the sense that he didn't ask for it. He was just left on Mars, and now he's out there all alone. Refusal of the call. Initially, he really does just want to lay down and die. He does not want to survive. He doesn't want to live at all, actually. So the mentor to Mark was actually his background and his education in botany and engineering. This kind of advanced him to be like, okay, I can survive due to this background. The threshold for Mark was finding solutions to problems. He found ways to grow food on Mars and to sustain his life on Mars for the 500 days almost 500 days he was there. The test allies and enemies was just Mars itself. The entire Martian environment was trying to kill him. The ordeal. He constantly struggles, and throughout the entire book he struggles, but he uses his skill set to solve these issues. For an example, in the beginning of the book, he faces an issue with his spacesuit. He had a tear, but he used his background in engineering to find out how to solve this issue. And he ultimately patched the tear in his spacesuit and continued on in the story. Mark did not have an actual physical award besides living. He had kind of a reawakening that he can be whoever he wants to be and do whatever he wants to do, because he survived on Mars for as long as he did. So on the road back, towards the end of the book, Mark does escape from Mars, and he realizes that his journey was insane. It was very dangerous, and that he encountered many issues. But ultimately, he realized that he's going to escape, he's going to live, and he now has all of this knowledge from Mars. And the resurrection, Mark ultimately realizes that he's not going to let himself die on Mars, so he makes himself escape Mars. And the return with Elixir. He ultimately returns to Earth. He had survived against all odds, and his story is an inspiration to others, reinforcing the theme of human resilience and the power of science and teamwork. So human ingenuity and resilience in this book is all throughout the book. He learns how to grow food on Mars. He uses human ingenuity and his background in science. And he is resilient. Every time he has encountered a life or death scenario, he chooses to live. And narrative tension again. Throughout the entire book, it keeps us on our toes of whether he will live or die, where he will find food, water, and how he will ultimately escape Mars. And in conclusion, The Martian is a fantastic book because it combines scientific rigor with engaging storytelling, creates a gripping narrative of survival and resilience on the harsh terrain of Mars. His heroic journey is filled with humor, intelligence, and unwavering determination. The novel's primary purpose is to educate, inform, and entertain, and Mark's story is no short of that. And a question for you guys. Now that you know Mark's heroic journey, what would your heroic journey look like if you were stranded on Mars?